So you don't have to fly halfway around the world for adventure. National Geographic lists Mystic as one of the top 100 adventure towns in America. And if that isn't incentive enough to get you there, maybe the Mystic Seafarer's Trail will. This book combines travel, history, and humor with 7 wonders over in Mystic. It was written by Lisa Saunders, an award-winning writer who also works as the historical interpreter at Mystic Seaport. Nice to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the book because it's interesting how it's set up. It's not really a travel guide.
Right. So
There's some humor in there. I mean, explain it to our viewers.
Well, it started out as an article, The 7 Wonders of Mystic. I went to the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce and I said, I would love to do an article for you on the 7, I'll figure out what the 7 wonders are with your help, because I wanted them to put it on their website.
Sure.
Because I just thought it would be great for people to know exactly what they could see in kind of an order and some secrets behind them. Because although everybody comes to Mystic to see Mystic Pizza,
Sure, right?
there is a lot more to Mystic than pizza. So I just wanted to point that out. And the book grew from the article because in trying to find these out, I met a lot of great characters and adventurers along the way and decided to find my own epic adventure on the trail. And
that's what it was. You wanted to, and you're kind of new to Connecticut, right?
Yeah, I was very new when I started writing this. I had just moved here 4 years ago, which is basically when I started writing it, because I'm from inland, where our cemeteries don't say "lost at sea" on every other stone. They're more basic. Basic. And this, I thought this was an incredible adventure town because of the people I met and the basic, Amelia Earhart's been through here to get married.
I mean, that's what you have right there.
Yeah, Dr. Robert Ballard keeps his home office and Titanic exhibit here, and he discovered the Titanic. I mean, how exciting! I've been reading these.
It's a big deal, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, Admiral Byrd flying over the South Pole, the first one. He's been through this area. Anyway, so
lots of history here. But let's get to the 7 wonders that you came up with. The first one, obviously, the whale ships, the Charles W. Morgan getting back in the water too recently.
Yes, it did. But when I moved there, it was just on dry ground, being redone, being fixed. And to me, it was amazing a sight, because that was one of my criteria, is that it had to be a wow, take a second look site. I was new.
That's certainly it, right?
Yes, and I was new, so it still did that wow for me. Where I'm from, like I said, you might see somebody's RV in the driveway, but you don't see huge wooden boats on dry land.
That's true.
So then I got into reading about the history of it and got very excited that it's seen everything that an epic whale ship should see.
Yeah, it's spectacular. All right, so you have some crown jewels of Mystic Aquarium, including the Titanic exhibit, which you mentioned.
Right.
It's pretty cool. Even itself, just walking around with the penguins, the whales, there's so much to do there.
Right, but actually the wonder part, I decided, was the architecture. The crowns, there's 2 basic crowns that you're seeing there. Again, that was a criteria. It couldn't be fun inside. It had to be viewable from the outside. And I was in Old Mystic Village eating fudge, and I looked up and thought, wow, what is that huge blue crown? And then when I saw that crown, I interviewed the architect that did it, that designed it, and I heard from their spokesman why it looks the way it does.
Interesting. All right, the Hanging Gardens of Ender's Island. See, I'm not familiar with this one. I'm glad you mentioned it, because it looks spectacular from the pictures.
Yeah, I made up the term hanging garden because I just figured I'll steal from the
fair enough
from the historians that use that term. But really, no matter what time of year you go out there, you're going to see amazing rock structures, paths that are funky, heart-shaped, and you're going to see the seaside chapel that's 3-sided. And you go in, you can read very personal prayers that are folded up. I figure if it's only slightly folded, I'm allowed to read it.
There you go. It's open. All right, the Mystic River Drawbridge.
Yes, everybody loves to see that.
So
that
pretty.
Is a wow.
When it doesn't get stuck or anything, where it's in, it is quite the sight. And then the Elm Grove Cemetery Arch.
That drew me in. A lot of locals were upset that I chose that as a wonder. They had their own, the locals had in mind their own set of wonders.
They did.
Yes, but when I was driving down as a new person, I thought, wow, look at that huge arch
in
the middle of these trees. So I found out a lot of interesting history behind that and who's buried there. A lot of great people.
Is that right?
Yes.
And then, as you mentioned, not so much the restaurant Mystic Pizza, but the sign itself.
Now, I did kind of violate my own law that it had to be take a second look wow site, because it's a restaurant sign. But reality is, everybody that's walking through there is taking a second look and having their pictures taken under it.
Well, there's probably more pictures taken outside than actually in the restaurant, I would assume.
Oh, yes.
I think that's legit. That counts.
Okay.
And then we have the Mystic Train Depot.
Yes, and initially I was like, okay, it's a train depot, but I found out that it was the model for American Flyers model train station. And there is a train station that you can see from the mid-1900s. It's got Mystic on top of it. Plus, it's got some great tragic stories about the hurricane of 1938 derailing.
And while you were doing your research and coming up with these 7 wonders, what would you say is the standout for you? Which one really blew you away?
I think the Drawbridge is the one that I will go down purposely to walk my dog down every day to watch it go up, to wave to the bridge tenders, and to see what ships are coming through. It's pretty exciting. And famous people have come through there. Frank Sinatra, Steven Spielberg, you know, Phil Donahue, all these famous people go up and down.
And you've already mentioned this before, and we talked about it, but the marriage certificate again from Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, that was thrilling, because I was walking to Noank and everything, and found a plaque that said Amelia Earhart was married here. I assumed she was married on the building that it said where the plaque was,
right.
but it wasn't. That was just placed there. She's married in a home on Church Street, and I just started doing research, and I found out that Groton Town Hall had her marriage certificate, and I just...
Wow, it's pretty cool.
That was pretty exciting.
It's a little piece of history not everybody knows about.
I was very excited to go see that, and so I went and I touched her actual signature. I paid my $20 for a certified copy and found out that she lied on it.
What did she lie about?
Oh, do you really want me to tell you?
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
All right, she lied about her age, but just by 1 year, so I'm not sure.
That's okay, we'll give her a break on that one.
So I'm not sure why she did that, but she kind of perpetuated that birth year for herself.
All right, well, Lisa, thank you so much for being here. The name of the book again is Mystic Seafarer's Trail. We could find it pretty much everywhere? Yeah,
online, all the local stores in Mystic, certainly, and New London, but online is easy.
Thanks so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here and sharing.